drivers talking about mental overload and too difficult. You looked supremely calm.
Yeah, no, I felt good out there after my prep, and it was a clean session, so I was pretty pleased with how that went. And yeah, it's just the first step of a long old season.
How difficult are these cars in qualifying conditions to judge your braking points and that?
I think once you get your head around it, it becomes like a new normal. Like, you know, even sometimes in qualifying last year, we have to deal with the porpoising, you know, and that was just something you got to deal with and you got to learn about. Now we're doing a little bit of lifting coast. Is that pure racing? No, probably not. But you get used to it, and it is race one. I know the FIA are going to be like making some changes. So I've been one of the drivers who I haven't wanted to be sort of judge everything too prematurely, and I think Melbourne's probably going to be the worst track for these engines.
Your longer runs in practice were pretty good as well, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, the car's looking amazing. I think the engine is getting a lot of heat at the moment about all, you know, this, that, and the other. People seem to forget McLaren have got the same engine as us, Williams have, Alpine have, and the car's just mighty. It feels more like the Mercedes from the good old days, which was, I was quite relieved when I drove it for the first time. But it's only the start, and we got to keep pushing.
Get it off the line, get into the first corner, and control the race.
Exactly. It's like I said before, like these simple things, like a race start's never simple, but in terms of the procedure in the past, it was pretty simple. You dump the clutch and away you go. And now you've got to get the turbo spinning. You can't have the battery too high, but you don't want it too low either, because you want to have battery for your lap. When you do have wheel spin, the tyres just keep on spinning up because there's just so much power under your right foot. Oh, he's screaming. So pit stops as well. It's not like the weekend is done and we can put our feet up now. It's just the start of it, and we need to make sure we don't trip up on anything tomorrow.
Kimi had a few adventures, but the team brilliantly, and he
amazingly,
spectacularly got it on the front row alongside you.
Yeah, he's he's been really quick this weekend. He's a super fast driver, and yeah, I'm sure now we've got a car that sort of takes a bit of pressure off you. When you can get through those Q1 sessions easy and get through Q2 more easily, it sort of takes the pressure off. So I'm sure he's going to be hot on my heels, but I'm ready for it.
Good luck. I know you've got to get on somewhere else. Cheers.
Kimi, you've had quite an eventful day. How are you feeling standing here now?
Yeah, I mean, just so grateful towards the mechanics. I think they're the hero of the day, and yeah, just cannot thank them enough for the amazing work they did. It was a very stressful day for me. I honestly didn't think I would have made it for quali, but I mean, they did an incredible job. Plus, we were a bit lucky with the red flag, but yeah, they did incredible. And yeah, I mean, at the end we couldn't even set up the car, but you know, they were able to fix it. That was good enough to drive. So yeah, just a massive thanks to them.
But you paid them back with a fantastic few laps in that session as well. Do you think, had you had the full running earlier on as well, you could have made up that 2 and a bit tenths to George? Or?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think this morning in FP3 I had a really good confidence. You know, I was feeling very good in the car. Car was feeling good, and then obviously, I don't think was a very big mistake. I mean, I used the curb a little bit more than what I used before, and was a bit too much. So was a little mistake, but was you know, with big consequences. So yeah, just need to make sure I try this kind of stuff before, and so I'm sure that I can run over this kind of curves. But overall, I think was a good session. I put myself a lot under a lot of pressure in Q3. I did a mistake in turn 3 and found myself with no lap, but luckily also the car is good, and just did a clean lap, nothing special, and was enough for P2.
Dark blue suit works.
Yeah, it works.
Right?
Not bad. Yeah, I mean, it's the first quali of the year. Let's see how it goes. We need to stay cool. It's just one quali session.
You did say to me last year, though, when we talked about the potential of making this move, that you felt you were maybe more along the similar lines to Max in terms of driving style. Do you think that's really helped you or not?
I don't know. I'd like to believe that, of course. To believe I'm very good. And at the same time, the regulation change is also a big reset for everyone. So, we get given something we're not used to, and we drive it.
What about the race then? What do you know of this car as a race car?
We know it's decent on the long run. I'm actually quite confident with our race car. Not enough to beat any Mercedes, that's for sure, but to at least keep our position. It would be good.
All right, well done today.
Thank you.
Messages about deployment going on from both of the cars. Can you tell me what you were dealing with during that session?
Honestly, I don't think it's specific to us. I think with these cars, it's we've seen it on the GPS traces. You go from one lap to the other, and all the teams, all the drivers seems to have different deployment. Unfortunately, we've had an added issue in Q2 that we fixed then for Q3. But then it's kind of tricky. I don't want to go too much into details because it's very complex this year, but basically the car is learning based on the previous lap, and with the issues we've had in Q2, the red flag in Q3, the only base we had was Q1, so then coming into Q3 we weren't exactly optimal, and that costs us a bit of lap time, definitely P3, definitely not P1, and unfortunately that's what I'll take home or to the hotel tonight, is that we've got a lot of work to do. And Mercedes, I had a bit that feeling yesterday. I thought it was 5-6 tenths. It's 8, and it's a huge gap.
Your starts, all the practice starts we've seen.
Sorry.
It's all right, don't worry. The starts we've seen in testing, you do seem to be a team that's got on top of these new starts. Does that give you any hope for tomorrow that you can make up some places at the start and try and hold on?
I don't think it was a bit chaotic in Bahrain, the starts we've seen. I don't think it will look like that tomorrow, but I might be wrong. I think the thing is that when everybody is in its optimal window for the start, there's not that much between the cars. It's kind of easy for us to reach that optimum window for the start. It's, I believe, but I've never tried the Mercedes engine, much more difficult for them to reach that optimum window, and that means that they might be a bit more. It might be a bit more tricky for them at the start. But if they do everything perfect, I don't expect them to struggle at all.
Thank you, thanks, Charles. Let's go. I know McLaren was saying we think we're a bit behind the others. Is that roughly where you thought it would be today? Did you get everything out of the car?
Close, I think. I think Mercedes. Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise just how far ahead they are. But I think for us, maybe third could have been on the cards. Everything's a bit scrappy, but with these cars, you change something a little bit from lap to lap, and you end up with more power or less power, and it doesn't always go in the direction you expect. So. There's plenty for us to learn after that one, but I think we're roughly where we thought we would be.
What would be a good result tomorrow then? I mean, what have you seen from race pace, and is it hard to understand what the race is going to look like at the moment? Or not?
Yes, a little bit. No one's really done any long runs. Mercedes have, and they looked even quicker than they did today. We did some short ones, but no one's done proper length stints. So there's an uncertainty there. I think there's a big uncertainty on the starts, just how competitive everyone is. So qualifying might not quite be the be-all and end-all at the moment, but obviously we need to try and get that right.
Thank you. Thanks, Oscar. Thanks. Ladder, what was that like? That was qualifying.
Not very good. Not very nice. I think George will be the only one saying it was nice, to be honest.
So what were you dealing with? What was it like in this car this year, first qualifying in these new regs?
Just inconsistent, just one lap better, one lap not. It's just tricky. I mean, I've been a little bit on the back foot from the start of the weekend, just not really done enough laps and a lot of issues on the car, which we wish we had less of. They can happen, it does happen, so trying to work through them, and in some ways it's an expectation at the start of the year. You just try and minimize them. But I've said, luck's certainly not been on my side so far this weekend, and including again then in qualifying with the debris on track and breaking my front wing. So I was actually pretty happy with the position in the end. I kind of was figuring out how to drive the car, maybe late, yes, but with the lack of laps I've had this weekend and just performance from the car working properly, it's made my life pretty tricky.
So how different will race laps be to quali laps?
I mean, it already sucks, so it's probably going to be even worse.
All right. Hi, Lewis. Are you... Sorry? Yeah, no problem. Thanks. Are you still smiling? You were smiling earlier in the weekend. Are you still smiling today after that first day?
Yeah, it was not the best qualifying, but I felt solid all weekend. I've been really, really happy in the car and feeling super motivated. And I think in Q1 was up until end of Q1 on the medium tire was feeling great. I was obviously third or fourth with just the medium tire, so I was feeling solid. And then when we got into Q2, we had some problems with the engine and deployment, and it kind of then threw a bunch of spanners in the mix, and we really struggled then to just execute and get the best out of it after that. So I think if things hadn't been an issue, I think we probably could have been fighting for third or fourth. So I don't think we could keep up, get anywhere in Mercedes, but still, lots of work to progress to be made.
Are you surprised by that gap to Mercedes, and do you think you can take advantage at the start tomorrow? Because your starts seem to have been phenomenal in the practices we've seen.
I think what's clear is that they didn't show the engine power through any of the practice, because there's the whole talk of compression ratio, and they've obviously done a really solid job with their engine, which we have as well. But it would be interesting I want to understand why it's like 2/10 or more just through power per sector, and so if it is a compression thing, I want to understand why the FIA haven't done anything and what's being done to rectify it. But if it's not, and it's just pure pet, then we have to do a better job.
Thank you. What happened?
Yeah, good question. I mean, I didn't speak to the team yet, or didn't look into any data, but to lose the car like that on the braking, I've never experienced that in my life. So I hit the pedal and suddenly the whole rear axle just completely locked up. So definitely a bit weird.
Anthony was looking at the SkyPad, and he said he heard the downshift before actually sounded very odd. And he said the downshift before sounded odd. Before the spin. I don't know if that was connected.
I think it already went wrong before the downshift, because I hit the pedal, and as soon as I hit the pedal, because you quite quickly downshift, right? But it already immediately locked on the peak of the brake pressure, basically. So yeah, something very weird, that's for sure.
Nothing you've experienced before in this car?
In my life. So it's really weird.
And just finally for me, I mean, for the race tomorrow, anything could happen, couldn't it? So you just have to look at it as maybe an opportunity. If you can keep the car to see the checkered flag tomorrow, you could still get some good points out of this.
That's the target. But I mean, there's so many unknowns, of course, at the moment that we still need to get on top of. Yeah, we'll see tomorrow what we can do.
Thank you. Arvid, hi. You must be really happy with that performance.
Yeah, definitely. It's much better than I and the team expected. I don't think having two cars in Q3 was really the objective, the goal coming into the weekend. So I think everyone's done an amazing job from the team, from RBPT forward to have made this step from Bahrain. And then for myself, I mean, I always dreamed of being in Formula One since I started this journey when I was 5. So the fact that it's come true is extremely exciting, and to have my debut qualifying go so well is really cool.
How much homework will you be doing before the race tomorrow?
Loads. I mean, we'll be trying to understand everything we can from the long run. I mean, the reality was, I think we did like 10 laps, and those 10 laps were the only high fuel running that we really did this weekend. So we're going to try to understand everything we can from that. Regardless, I still think there's going to be many unknowns. I don't think anyone really knows what's going to happen in the race tomorrow. So we'll learn what we can, and then we're going to stay open-minded and adapt to whatever situations come tomorrow. And I'm just going to stay focused on doing as best as I can.
Will you sleep tonight?
Well, I'll think about that tonight. I'm going to just focus on preparing for tomorrow for now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much.